Alrighty, going over my thoughts for Friday, July 9th. Kind of looking at the 1 hour chart here, we're pretty much at a key point in the market. Pretty pivotal point for price to either kind of resist or break back below to kind of put us back into that true bearish structure, right? We have a higher high here, followed by a lower low, lower high, and a lower low. One thing that I'm kind of keeping in the back of my pocket here is price is also respecting the 618 on the 1 hour. So that's a higher time frame fib, and price respected it to the T today. And what you're going to see here when I kind of dive back a little bit on this 4 hour is the same exact level on the market is also a pretty key level of resistance slash support all along the board, right? Break above, kind of break above, kind of use this as support. Resistance here, resistance here, resistance here. Again, kind of breaking back below and then kind of using it as support all across the board. And as you can see, it's a pretty pivotal key level in the market. So overall, kind of going back down to the lower time frame here, this right here, this structure right here kind of looks a little bit bullish. But overall, I think looking for buys makes the most sense if we can see a clean break of this structure going into tomorrow, right? And potentially looking for that retest to, again, overall target this level. If you kind of measure that out, it still gives us a decent bit of room to kind of play along with. About 140 pips if you catch it a little bit later. So overall, that's kind of going to be my bullish sentiment for tomorrow. And looking at the bearish side, I think the most sense here also makes waiting for price to either break below this current level. So we'll probably see price kind of trade back below and then hopefully kind of pull up going into New York and respect this general area. And when we see price break back below, we have a high probability of price breaking back down to here. So overall, again, if we see a crazy London session, we'll kind of reiterate and change up some of these plans. But I think these two ideas make a lot of sense, right? Looking at the short side of things, you got price kind of forming this slight downtrend. And you have this fib respected beautifully. And in my opinion, if we break above, we have a clean structure here to the left to kind of show us and provide enough evidence that we could see price break back above and tap into here, right? Again, you see price kind of respected around here. And then once we break above, we actually end up tapping into this zone almost every single time. You see it here, price breaks above, and we have a high probability of this general area being tapped into. So on the long side, I think that makes a lot of sense. Waiting for price to break around here and target this next area. And then on the short side, I think either waiting for price to show resistance in this general area and target this short, or if we see price kind of trading in this general zone and you see this impulse entry to the downside kind of come into play, I think that will also make some sense here. Either way, I think both these ideas kind of map out and kind of favorite each other. Let's kind of look at the higher time frame here and draw this fib as well. So where are we currently trading on the higher time frame fib? You see the 764 respected beautifully on this higher time frame fib. So it gives me a little bit of confluence. We could also see the top side come into play. So that's kind of why keeping both these sentiments in play makes the most sense to me. It's Friday. We usually see price rally one way or the other. So keeping both these key areas in mind kind of going into tomorrow, in my opinion, makes the most sense. So again, high time frame 618 right around here for shorts. And if we see price clearly break above, we have a high probability of catching at least 140 pips, if not more, to the top side. And again, if we see price fail to break above this general area, look for impulse sells around the break of this zone to target down here. Again, I think price is slowly forming that bearish structure, but one move tomorrow breaking above this general area could push price back above into a bullish structure. Looking at the daily here, also this whole area we have seen price kind of dip down into has been previously a heavy wick rejection area to the downside. So really, if we see price kind of pull back down and start trading below this general area, I think we have a high probability of seeing price tap into that next zone as well. We've seen it done here. We've seen this area tapped into for 2 days and then that third day really bring price all the way down. Not saying we're going to see that, but overall we've also seen price wick down in this general area and refill that move back to the top side. So overall, again, all these zones I mapped out on Monday night. They're all off the higher time frames here, and as you can kind of see, they've all kind of held suit going through this whole week, and there's really no reason, in my opinion, to really map out some new areas. Just kind of finding a little bit of confluence within the zones themselves, kind of like we did here, and really waiting for price to either break above this key level or show another resistance to this level and target the shorts, or at the break of the zone, really targeting the top side. So overall, it's kind of my ideas and bias kind of going into tomorrow. I think we're at a key level in the market, and in my opinion, I think price is going to show its true form, whether we're going to go bearish or bullish to end the week off. Again, looking at that daily time frame, we saw this big daily candle here kind of close red, followed by a bullish candle to the top side, and price showed very little bullish momentum once we kind of got up in here. So we see that whole move basically corrected to the downside, and you'll probably see this daily close right below this level or right on this level. So again, keeping all that in mind, kind of going into this Friday with pretty much both sentiments in mind, looking for buys and looking for sells at the break of these key levels, kind of the same plan as always. But overall, looking how price previously reacted to these zones, and yeah, kind of going in with a clean mind. Pretty solid week so far, and kind of keeping that momentum going into tomorrow, managing risk, and again, just waiting to see what price kind of does for us here today. Just how we reacted today. Had a good clean chart analysis. Then you have a big move kind of taken over by London. Overall, we just kind of reacted, caught a decent move, kind of got slipped up on the downside here once we saw this break of structure. But overall, waiting for a little bit more key evidence in the market going